Correct. Yeah. So that's good enough for me. Let's go ahead and end the draft. We don't want to need to stall things out much longer, showing off how BTS loving we are. So, game 2, gods. Monkey Business, very, very rough start at game 1 in the laning phase. I don't know if that's something that's going to make them think twice about how they draft and set up this way, but for the most part, 5JuNGz controlled it. They almost let it slip away a bit there in the mid game, but they did manage to come out with a huge Roche and come out with the victory.
Well, the problem hero for them, not so much like in game 1, but the problem hero as far as the series as a whole is concerned is Ember Spirit. Matumba Man has played like 4 games of Ember Spirit in the quarterfinals, semifinals, or at least 3 of them. He's been dominating on this hero, which is where they first picked it last game to say, we don't want to give it to him. This time around, they say, instead of trying to play the hero, let's just ban it out. So they ban out Ember Spirit. They take it away from Matumba Man. It's still the same kind of game plan. Don't let Matumba Man get as far as the draft goes. Don't give him Ember Spirit, and we'll force him onto a different hero. And this time around, Darkseer makes his way through the pool. The same 2 bans from 5JuNGz. The only difference in the bans was Monkey Business, who banned Darkseer and one other in game 1. I can't remember what that was, but we'll see 5JuNGz head the same direction with the first pick Ogre.
I'm going to make one of my bold idiot savant predictions here, and that we'll see either a Brood or a Huskar. I don't know why. That seems to be just popping out of my mind for Monkey Business especially. Maybe not the Huskar, but the early pickup of the Darkseer always just kind of intrigues me like, 5JuNGz better second phase consider banning a Brood, because that could always creep up on you now that they don't have to worry too much about that. And 5JuNGz now committing in for what could be their duo aggressive offlane, an Ogre Magi and an Undying here.
Yeah, I think we'll see something similar. Jirax roaming around with the Ogre Magi and Mind Control just baiting him in with the Undying. Very similar duo. Monkey Business not going to change too much. They get Dazzle as their second pick for the support, and we'll see where they look to head as far as their cores go. But they definitely want a safe lane farmer that can kind of be somewhat self-sustainable, fight well in the lane, because a potential Undying Ogre Magi lane, very annoying to deal with.
What is some of your best options? The first thing I think of, and I see an Undying, now it's based on attack, not life. Miracle Wind Ranger, maybe? It would be nice to be dealing with the Undying a bit. I know it's not your safe lane farmer.
Well, Huskar?
Something that can pull up in the mid lane.
It's banned.
Huskar going to be banned.
Yeah, I think if you don't ban Huskar in the second stage, like you say, we see it. It's a 3rd or 4th pick hero for Monkey Business. They probably go for the 4th pick Huskar and then ban AA. It's what we saw from them in their previous best of 3. If you have the 4th pick, like the final pick in that second stage, you just pick a hero and then you ban its counter. So that's exactly what they do with the Huskar.
Still have chance with the Broodmother, though. Broodmother heal bomb, Broodlings with Dazzle. They already don't have to worry about a Darkseer.
It's hard to, like, as much as you take one of the counters for it, it's Brood and Darkseer both the offlaners, so you don't really want to run one as like in a different role. You definitely can. Like, we've seen teams run jungle Darkseers, Brood's mid.
Mid Brood, yeah.
You go back to an old school team with Pedrinho where they used to do safe lane Brood even. That was, what was it? I can't even remember that team's name anymore, but I remember Pedrinho used to play the safe lane Brood for the old team he played on with Weeha. The Balkan Bears Corleone. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's right.
That was a fun team to watch. Last ban on Veno, which shows 5JuNGz. They've done their homework. They saw the recent games that Monkey Business have been playing. No-Tail's been playing a couple games here and there of the core Venomancer. Also maybe suggest they want to go into a Templar Assassin as a 3rd or 4th pick, but nope. Razor. That's Fatta's hero, typically speaking.
So you get a lane dominator like Razor. Do you respond with a lane dominator of your own, getting something crazy like a Viper, let's say? I think a Viper would be okay to kite out the Razor. He has swift enough attack speed to deal with the Tombstone, can kite Ogre a bit, and is able to soak in a lot of the damage. Or do you go a different
Wind Ranger you mentioned is fine. That's a lane dominator in its own right, and you want something that's not going to, like, a melee hero against Razor is a bad idea. Shadow Fiend's fine if they want to go for another Shadow Fiend. I think Shadow Fiend Wind Ranger a bit preferred to the Viper just because they've got the lane spam, so they can spam out the lane, grab some runes, and also farm jungle stacks. I don't think we're seeing too many mids who don't have that flash farm potential. Even last time we saw Fat on the Razor mid, he spent a lot of the time the game farming, using that, like, 2 dire jungle camps close together, hitting them both with plasma fields while stacking them, while using his ultimate to farm. You can play Razor as that kind of farming hero, but you can't do that at all with Viper, which is where the hero is very much an all-in-ish type pick and a niche pick compared to a Razor or Wind Ranger, whatever else it may be for the mid lane. I think if they go with the Viper, their lineup has very much it's got to win the game by a certain time.
Yeah,
it's got a time limit on it. It's got to be like 30, 35 minutes. If it goes past that, you're probably losing the game, late game.
Could see a run back of the Shadow Fiend. I mean, you got the armor synergy already between him and a Dazzle, and your Radiant side, so you have easy access to the stacks to build up if necessary. But they seem to be nursing their pick here.
I feel like a Bristleback's one of the better carries to run against an Undying Ogre. Nice and tanky. But PL's going to come out.
PL was pretty good against Undying in his tomb before. Now it's really good because illusions also trigger.
It counts as a full hero attack? Oh,
that's what I've heard. I heard that that's something that needs to be changed or should be changed so it's treated the same way like Phoenix Egg, but it's not right now. Yeah. And an illusion will proc a hit on the tomb. So even at the start, like, tomb is terrible at level 1 and 2.
One doppelganger.
It's one, yeah.
Three right clicks is all you need, I think.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to change its build-up at all.
Yeah. If anything, make the illusions count as half a hit, the same as creeps do. Because creeps give you, like, you need double the amount of, like, 2 creep hits as 1 hero attack, basically. But for now, 5JuNGz get a hero to deal with the PL illusions. Overwhelming odds, very good at taking them out almost instantly because it does 25% of their HP. And then the damage is amplified on illusions, so you're looking at just dead illusions instantly from a Legion Commander nuke until they reach a certain threshold of HP, which is something like, I don't know, something like 1800 to 2000 HP before the Legion Commander is like one-shotting PL illusions. It's hard to match up against the overwhelming odds, which now has a shortened cooldown as well, which makes this hero even better against PL.
And she obviously has some good synergies between her own team. She sets up the lockdown, makes it easy for Razor to sap away all that damage, or draws just their attention away from the tomb. Undying continuously gets out huge decays. Somehow, some way, this Undying gets an Agnum Scepter. That's what many people are saying is probably the single best buff on a hero. And you'd think it is remade a bit, so his Agnums no longer works with the Flesh Golem. It works with decay stacks up to 10 now. Gods, if you somehow, some way hit 5 people, which I know is crazy, you're getting like 900 some odd health and taking away all that health from your opponent. So let's not say 5. That's like never going to happen. 3 to 4, and you get more than 1 off? Yeah. Undying is hard to kill. And
3 hero decay is like a free Reaver right there.
It's like, boom, instant life removal from like half the team.
On a 4-second cooldown.
Yes.
That to me is the most absurd thing about it. More than like, as much as like 1 decay gives you, it's the fact it's on a 4-second cooldown. He's going to become a beast, but
it's a luxury item though for Undying that seems to be kind of put in this position.
I'd love to see how he's played if he is going to be the offlaner, because the Legion gets picked up. So if Legion's an offlaner, that means Undying Ogre support duo, which isn't impossible to do, but you haven't got a good range support at dealing with Darkseer. So I feel this may even be like a Matumba Man safe lane farming Legion, maybe even a mid Legion and the Razor goes safe lane. Legion Commander, very suited to the mid lane. You've got their hero that benefits a lot from a fast level 6. You've got a good AoE nuke to push out the lane. You can use a bottle quite well. So
sustain to stay in the lane, purge off anything, and
last bound to Lesh. Oh, Leshrac. Oh yes,
he was a hero. He showed up in the series earlier today as a support. So,
I think they banned it because they were worried about the support Lesh here too. I think they're expecting a support from 5JuNGz, like a Kuro hero, to be their last pick.
Which, if you're worried about someone like Lesh, I mean, there's still plenty of support lockdown. CM Lion, maybe?
CM's good.
But,
freezing field AoE, there's not a whole lot
very good against PL. Yeah, you're right.
And all of these heroes benefit from Brilliance Aura a lot. Ogre, Undying, fantastic. Legion, pretty fantastic. Razors, so. Not bad.
But this is, of course, anticipation that they need another support.
Yeah, they don't have to. They can.
What's the other option? They get a lone.
They get a lone druid. Yeah, that's.
Lone druid.
Exactly what I was thinking and about to say.
Lone druid. Played a little bit last night with it. Not me personally, but I was playing with Aosin. He had some crazy blink strategy he wanted to show off. We lost that game. But Lone Druid, overall buffed through all these patches. He got even a little bit more loving in 6.85. And Gods is looking it up right now. He's the man.
Oh, the bear cooldown. Yeah, I love this change. The level 1 bear, like if you died at level 1 or really early to like an aggro dual lane, 3-minute cooldown on your bear at level 1 is brutal, whereas it's now a consistent 2 minutes at all levels. So that's a really nice change, a much needed change. But the battle cry got beefed up tremendously. The damage you get from this has gone up by 50% at level 1. The armor is increased by almost twofold at level 1. It's a whole lot better, especially at the early levels, and like a fraction better at level 3. So I think Lone Druid a very potent hero now.
Oh, whoa. I forgot you couldn't like bring up the skill to demonstrate, but does it even work? Hold on.
It used to work.
Oh, because I'm trying to show there. Okay, now I can. What the hell's happening? I tried to show off the patch note decryption. Oh my goodness.
So it was kind of like Game 2 yesterday when the monkey versus monkey game happened, and it was just like crazy all off the walls picks. That game was super aggression. This game, it's 5JuNGz going for a pseudo cheesy push strat like Lone Druid. You can beef up the bear, like the Legion Commander using the Healy Repel spell, whatever it's called, press the attack on the bear, helps it a lot. It heals it, it sustains its more attack speed. You've got a Tombstone for the push, you've got Bloodlust on the bear. Like, this is insane push.
This bear's going to be crazy.
And there was no wave clear from Monkey Business until this Tinker came in. All they had was Eye Shards, which is not going to stop a push on its own, so a smart pick onto the Tinker. So it's going to be push versus counter push.
And they have blind now too, though. I'm sure the laser will help against the bear,
Really handy against the bear. That's got a long blind duration, so.
Ooh, that's funky. Because this bear has also got the option to, pick up some like PL. It's going to be a treat. So, folks, buckle up, get ready. It's game number 2 of a best of 3 here for the Nanyang Championships. It's Team Monkey Business going against the 5JuNGz here. And Monkey Business will need this win to stretch it to a game 3. Otherwise, they risk being knocked down into the lower bracket. And we'll have to hope that they can battle it out in the lower bracket final to get a rematch here and now. We'll lead out some very brief introductions. Miracle is going to be sporting the Tinker. Right behind him, Fly is going to do a repre on his role of the Dazzle. We got Moon repping your Darkseer. Crit's going to be behind playing your Tusk. And along the bottom, Mr. Big Daddy No Tail. He's going to be playing your PL for now, down and alone here. Gods, why don't we go ahead and find out what's happening here for the 5JuNGz?
Well, they've got offlane Legion Commander as a core for Mind Control. Kuroki playing the support Undying. Fata going to be mid on Razor. Matumba Man, Lone Druid, and Jerex on Ogre. 2 melee supports, which normally you'd kind of point out as a potential weakness, but Ogre Magi with Boots first, Undying, just strong support in his own right. I don't think it's necessarily a big weakness on this 5JuNGz support. They've got one of their supports who can roam, pressure the Tinker, the other who can fight the Darkseer to some extent in the top lane. And Lone Druid, one of the heroes who doesn't necessarily need a lot of help against the Darkseer because of the bear being in the front lines and able to tank. And this is where a 2-minute resummon on your bear helps a lot, because Darkseer Iron Shell does a lot of consistent damage to a Spirit Bear. So something where a quick resummon can really help out refill its HP. But all that Theorycraft aside, he's not even going to be up against the Darkseer. It looks like aggro trail lane from Monkey Business.
Yeah, interesting change up here. I'm curious to see if this is something that would work out. Definitely not a lane we're going to be used to commentating on, but Matumba Man going to be making the best of it here, and we'll see if these 2 melee supports are going to be able to handle this aggressive lane. Shouldn't be too terrible here. Kuro's going to probably start zoning back with some simple decays onto Big Daddy. Fly will be there with the heal, but I'm concerned for the Tusk. If you can get a good block off here, you might consider going for it. Has shards already committed, but they will not follow through. This is just... I don't even want to look away from this lane. I feel like this is just exactly where the First Blood might end up breaking down here. Or even muscling back Jerex. But
yeah, we know unlikely to see kills in either of these 1v1s. Tinker vs. Razor. Darkseer vs. Legion Commander could see some aggression happen, but it's... Legion goes Boots first, which means he can not take as much damage from the Iron Shell, but ultimately he's going to struggle to sustain himself. He needs a fast bottle probably to stay in the lane against the Darkseer Iron Shell. Well, there's no Iron Shell yet. He's gone Surge level 1, I think, to get to this bottom lane quicker. But as you said, top lane most likely where the action's going to be happening.
Fatah will continue to zone back.
Так,
Let's tinker a bit,
придумывать.
Tinker putting more into Laser. I believe the last time it was Necroman playing the Tinker, if I'm not mistaken, and he did that Rocket March build up. This time they're going with extra nuking power.
He did Laser, he was against the Husker.
Yeah, he did Laser, but I think he did Laser March, not Laser Rocket.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so we'll see if Miracle still goes down the typical cookie cutter Tinker build-up. Get your Boots of Travel, a Blink Dagger, and then you can show up in a moment's notice to a lane, and you have a 1-2 punch of nuking power. Could secure away some quick and early kills.
Handy rune for mind control. DD will give him a lot of extra last hit potential in this offlane. Deal with the Darks here.
И Spirit Lens, Doppel.
Well, as it stands right now, we're expecting this Darkseer to have free will on building up his own bit of farm, which means a quicker mech, quicker set of levels, get that wall up faster, get those vacuum levels up, and then he can make a bigger presence into the mid game, where a team fight is going to be very crucial.
It is interesting to see Miracle not going for any points in the match, because he's going to get out-farmed mid because of this static link, and not going to have that catch-up farm available from match for some time, it looks like.
Yeah, I don't see him utilizing Rocket in this laning phase a whole lot.
Maybe hoping for a Tusk rotation at some point. Crit is going for, like, he camped the 2-minute rune. If he gets a haste or an invis, I think we see him rotate mid. Problem is he found the bounty rune initially, so he's really hoping for a high-impact rune that he can set up a kill towards mid, because that's where this laser missile build does pay off.
But for now, Big Daddy being nerfed down a bit at 8-2 CS. Now he's on the run here. There's going to be a decay. Forces out the Doppelganger. Create a little bit of space. And he will waltz away from some extra trouble. But you compare that over Lone Druid. 10-2. So, pretty formidable start. Both teams holding their own. But if your aggro lane is barely matching up on par, then something's not going well for you.
I mean, I don't think it was an aggro lane that was meant to dominate by any means. Like a PL, not an amazing aggro trialing hero. I think it was just to keep the supports in place. It gives Miracle a bit more freedom in the mid lane, because if you don't aggro trialing, this Ogre is just going to camp mid lane with Fire Blast, with Ignite. So as a result of the aggro trialing, Miracle's not being ganked. He's having a rough time regardless, because it is a hard matchup against Razor, but it gives him just a slightly better time, and only at a slight cost to the PL's farm. So I think if you look at top lane and bottom lane, both even in farm, mid lane is slightly Razor favored, but Tinker's the more high impact hero there.
Trying to commit in for Big Daddy. He's got 4 seconds for a Doppelganger. Will get the Grave, and Doppelganger's up now. And it looks like he'll create a little bit of space, and just enough to get away.
Ooh, that level 1 Doppelganger cooldown.
This is very close. It gives you an idea of the pressure they've been putting up with here. It's the sacrifice they've made to pull that attention away from Miracle, like you were talking about before.
Back actually made a rotation bottom, partially to grab a rune, and he knew Moon was diving the tower getting aggressive, so he tried to cut him off, but Moon managed to remain in fog. He sees mind control. Oh, free courier. No, he wants mind control, I think, but mind control has a bottle now, so he's just going to run past.
And he walks under. We'll have to go all the way back down to the low part of the lane and make do with that for now.
So. Still no rotation yet from Crit's Tusk, but he's near mid lane, and another laser in 10.
There's the shard out. Miracle, though, left with nothing for damage. Could be healing Fatah at this point, but they are going to continue in. Snowball connection here. Do they have the pizzazz? There's the rocket. They have the laser, and we have to take a moment to reflect exactly what the hell's about to actually happen here.
Laser has not been cast yet. 225 HP. Laser does enough. He's got level 3. It's a kill.
Jarex is here, but Jarex is now out of mana. So he could go.
Oh, actually, he's stunned. He will get the laser off. He should be able to get it off.
Walking away. Curl's going to interject, and he's not going to follow up, and now look at this. The zombies are out. Miracle's on the run, and he can't make it away. Oh, Fatah, a double kill.
Немножко Тинкер не доставал он своим лазером до разора, заблочил его своей
Meanwhile, bottom lane, Moon gets a solo kill. Legion tried to man up and go diving for a fight, use Jewel and everything, and Moon won the Jewel.
No
All
damage,
this stacked regen is paid off.
Huge boost for him. He'll have to walk back to heal up, but they take over this bottom lane, which seems to be necessary because top is going for the better of 5JuNGz up to this point, and now mid lane, especially for Fatah now, is going to be getting out of control fast. A double kill for him, and that means he's going to pick up, for now, just the belt. to build towards those power treads and an upgraded wall.
And that's tough for Monkey Business. They were very much relying on the comeback coming from that first crit rotation. It was the right rotation to make. He waited, Razor took a laser first, so Miracle used one laser, waited for the cooldown, and then go in with the Ice Shard Snowball, expecting to get a full laser missile combo for the kill, but just didn't quite kill him fast enough with the Ogre rotation coming in. So it was a good response from 5JuNGz, and now top lane, it looks like the next move from Monkey Business is killing off Matumba Man.
Vacuum pullback, they got it done. The rotation from Moon helps out, and they're looking to establish back control in this top lane, mid lane. At the same moment, they're looking to engage for Miracle. JuNGz shows up, he gets off a good stun, ignite, and one more whip to the backside will do it. Fata now on a killing spree on his Razor. Pushes them ahead now 3-2.
Yeah, Fly, I don't know if he had to buy a TP from the shop, but he could have come in. If he could have come in at half a second early, he gets the grave off and it's not a kill.
Просто вот этим вот плеткой своей
Unfortunately not there though. Miracle will go down. This puts him off a bit more.
Yep.
Seems like the dream of a Boots of Travel is gonna just have to happen a little bit later.
I like the move sending crit towards bottom lane from Monkey Business, so getting Tusk levels is one of the most important things. He's not a hero who needs farm, but does want to get experience. So he was level 2 when he arrived, he's now already level 4. And Moon uses that time to make rotations around the map. He's the most farmed high impact hero on this Monkey Business side now, about to hit level 8. Soul Ring, Headrest, he has enough money for a buckler. He's farmed, so he's the one who needs to fight and go to the risky lanes. They need to give the easy lanes to heroes like PL, like the Tusk now, to get levels and to get farm in the case of the PL.
It's become easy though. Especially JuNGz. It's very similar to how he played a lot with Bounty Hunter in the previous patch when he was playing for MVP. Yeah. Just always on the aggressive. They're always looking for opportunities to find these kind of picks, and
he loves roaming supports. Yeah. He is one of the best gankers in Dota 2 right now.
I would certainly concur with that. And as you can see, he's showing it off right now. Miracle will need a grave. Fly's waiting as long as possible. He will lose his own life for the sacrifice of this grave. And look at mind control. He's like, oh, free damage. Boom. Walks in, easy duel, easy kill.
They play around the grave so well. He didn't attack. He's like, oh, you're going to grave him? Well, I'm just going to keep sapping damage. And then when I start right-clicking you, he graves him, he kills the Dazzle, and he was already focusing the Dazzle before the grave came out on the Tinker.
Yeah, you want to grave yourself? Do you value your own life? Tinkers, make a choice.
Dazzle could have just backed off and survived there, but he's thinking, okay, maybe I can save the Tinker, and then it's worth me maybe dying, or potentially both get out. But yeah, they knew exactly what was coming their way.
So they both go down. Miracle back from the grave, 0 and 3. Rough start for the young gun.
In fact, he's already back in the mid lane. JuNGz is back in the mid lane. Level 5, he's going to scatter this smoke gank from the high ground. These two can't even kill him. They see him and it's like, oh, we just lost our smoke. Yeah, this snowball.
Top lane though on the Moon at the same moment. Looks like it's going to be some possible damage. No, it's going to be cancelled off. They will still get the kill. We check back at bottom though, and JuNGz is now clubbing down crit.
He's fighting 1v2.
Oh, there's the block. He's relying on his raw armor here to carry him through, and 8 armor is certainly a lot. It's enough for Fodder to show up and go, get the hell away from my Ogre. Whips him down, and JuNGz is still fine. Ogre is, you know what he needs? Maybe another armor buff in the next patch, Ice Frog. Put him up to just 10 at the start. I think that would be good. Man, he could just soak in so much damage, and it's just Monkey Business are there toying with them, dancing with them, but that's playing right into the hand of 5JuNGz right now.
Yeah. It's very much, I feel like the Tinker for the mid-game was the perfect pick. They needed some AoE, they needed a good counter pusher, and Tinker is the best counter pusher in the game, but the early game has been where Monkey Business have suffered, and we're seeing them unable to secure Miracle, any good early farm. He's still committed hardcore to the laser missile build, so he's not going to have any catch-up jungle farm potential from stacks without the marking machines. He wants to be able to... He's going to look to catch up through kills.
Ooh, he's trying to walk him around a bit. Moon trying to juke, but there's really nowhere to hide. Fata's very fast moving, and he's winning, forcing Fata to run through the wall. Finally, Matumba Man will come into assist, and it'll be to take the kill.
Moon, I think would have almost won that 1v1. Fata did have a haste, so he was never going to die to the Darkseer as much as Darkseer was playing that perfectly.
Back at bottom, mind control has returned. Smacks the Big Daddy. Oh, he wants the duel. He got it. What the range was that? Gets it in. And he'll get another dual victory, 20 damage. back at mid lane here. Looks like JuNGz again being such a pain in the butt.
Notel's been having a rough time lately, being pressured constantly in his lanes. I mean, he gets sacked in the off lane this game. Well, not sacked, he's had supports up there, but it wasn't exactly a strong offensive trial lane. In the past, we saw with the Bloodseeker where he got left alone yesterday against the Freedom Fighters Darkseer Axe lane. He's not having a fun time lately. And when Miracle's getting shut down, that's a concern. If Miracle's getting all the farm in the world, you're thinking, well, great, it's coming at the cost of, for the other team of Miracle getting farm. This time around, there's no farm going the way of Tinker right now.
Сможет отслушивать, может придерживать как-то противника, в это время
mild little vortex, and he loses, or plasma field rather, he loses half of his life. Just not very comfortable here. His mid lane opponent's staring down at him at a gross level 10, huge amount of farm, and uh-oh, what's happening over here? It's still JuNGz, that annoying ogre. Fool. Keeps creeping in the side lane. Get the hell out of here, Moon! He's gonna go in there.
Замедление решает.
Trying to force him back, but Kuro's also by his side. This is really annoying. 5JuNGz just almost feels like overall playing with their food this game. It's all the meanwhile, Matamba Man continues to farm up the top lane. He has a Midas now on his bear.
Another smoke attempt coming out from Monkey Business. And this is the right way. When you have this rough early game, you want to use smoke ganks, but Big Daddy No-Tail, before the smoke train even arrives, is dead. And this is so costly. The first smoke, they run right into an Ogre on the high ground they can't kill. This time around, they're headed to a lane where they're expected to PL to find some kills. Oh, mid-lane dual kills. Sorry, distracted you there. But they're headed top, expecting to have like a 4v2, 4v3 scenario with the PL, and now they don't even have the PL for this.
Oh god, they missed the ice shards. They're still going to commit it anyway. They get some decent damage on the fall with the help of the Iron Shell. Huge vacuum pullback here, but not going to be enough. JuNGz shows up, pops out the stun. Glad to walk through the wall here. Crit might be able to slip away. Will do so. And they're still on the prowl, looking for Fly. Fly just gets annihilated from that nuking damage. And now, Big Daddy back, forced to step back with the Doppelganger here, and does not like the idea of having to commit in. This will secure Fata. A little bit more farm as they're going to just chunk down the couple of creeps, and now they're going to look for a tier 1. Stun out on the Big Daddy here. Oh, if he goes down again, this is just a travesty. And it looks like he might. Oh, able to just slip away. Mind Control catches him out with the overwhelming odds.
Oh, he's going to blink
Steps back, and there's the duel. There's the damage. There's the kill. 5JuNGz continue to dominate. And things continue to be a bit of a struggle here. Back-to-back takedowns on Big Daddy will force this PL to start going to plan B as far as itemization goes. A long way from even the drums.
Yeah. And plan B is definitely early game stats, finding items, drums, defusal, no boots of travel today. Miracle, the one area you can't afford to have to go down. All that fighting top, and Miracle's like, guys, I can't fight. The only option I have right now is to farm my boots of travel, and then he farms, he gets up like 300-400 gold, and then he just gets caught out with a rotation.
He's like, weren't you guys just fighting top? Yeah. How the hell did you get here so fast? There's nowhere feels safe right now.
It's brutal. Moon's got a mech for the team. He's the one hero who's kind of like where they're meant to be for the mid game, and even that is well behind the 5JuNGz 3 cores. They're all seeing over 6,000 net worth, and it's only Darkseer above 4K on the Radiant side.
You know it's not going so well when you look at the net worth graph and you think, oh, I just have it in the wrong order, right? I gotta change it up. Oh no, that's actually red at the top. Oh boy. You know what the nice thing though is that means it's potentially that much more of a swing if Monkey Business can pull this one around. But the thing is like I feel like we're reaching at that point. Yeah. As you said before, normally at the expense of all these pickoffs. Even in the last game, for example, Big Daddy very punished at the start of the game. Miracle still had some respectable farm on his Shadow Fiend and started stringing together some big pickoffs to kind of hope for a comeback. This time, though, yeah, Miracle is still just trying to get the bread and butter for Tinker.
It reminds me a lot of the old IG where they had 430 and Burning on the team. It was very much like you could shut down one, but as long as one of the two was getting farm, they could take the game on their shoulders. And you had this 1-2 punch where you could never shut down both these players. Right now, it feels like maybe Monkey Business with No-Tail as well as Miracle's the same thing, but this game, they both got shut down. Neither's finding farm, and if that ever happens, the team has no real good way to recover. They're playing from behind, and against a team with great ability to take objectives with Lone Druid, with Undying, they're in trouble. They've just chewed through their third smoke in a row, which is not going to achieve anything, so no even smoke gank potential available to Monkey Business.
They did get a ward down. They got 3 wards down all around this mid lane for Monkey Business.
Vision doesn't win you fights on its own. You need the items as well, and they don't have the items.
And the way 5JuNGz are playing, it's just they're happy to take camp up on the side of Monkey Business. They're not looking to really step back a whole lot.
I mean, they can use these wards just to avoid 5JuNGz at all costs, because that's all it really feels like they can do with it.
Ow! Did you uppercut me? Oh, pull back and everything. This zombie man just kind of thrown around like a ragdoll there. Still gets his tombstone down, and mind control only pump fakes a bit like he wants to commit in. Has to wait out for the blink. They're going to get crit. Fata walks him down very easily, and oh man! Blink and you miss it. Fly annihilated. His dazzle going to get dropped in. Oh, what a convenient route from Matama Man's little Alfredo. Going to be able to bring him apart. Moon going to be forced to drop the wall, and the second they see the wall, they turn around and walk away. See you later. We're going for the tier 2 instead.
Miracle was like 50 gold short of his travels as well when he died. Nothing going the way of Monkey Business. They can't catch a break at this point.
8k MMR, but not 2k gold. Unfortunately for him, it's not happening. Not this game. 5JuNGz are on a commanding pace here, living from the momentum they got from game 1, and it just seems to be transferring wonderfully over into game 2 for them.
Matamba Man has enough money for the relic now, so we could see Radiance very, very soon for him. It did look like 5JuNGz were eyeing off Roche early, but then suddenly the fight broke out mid and like, oh, screw Roche, let's go win another team fight. There's no way this Radiance side's ready to fight us. And it proves to be exactly the case as more dual damage. That's the crazy thing. This offlane Legion commander, 17 minutes in, 58 dual damage already. It's not like one hero or two heroes is doing well on 5JuNGz. All three of their cores farmed out of their minds. The two supports, even with their basic core items.
Lots of insurance here for 5JuNGz. One core seems to kind of fall off the beaten path and picked off a couple of times. You got another two ready to go, especially with this Legion commander pulling together so much damage.
Crew's asking for backup at mid. He's on a high ground here, but will be forced back.
Moon is hustling in there.
I think they've seen him now. Crew may just need to find a hiding spot to TP.
He's running. Oh god, Big Daddy's cutting him off here.
Yeah,
come here, my former teammate.
He's very dead.
Runs in there and they'll smack him down, and Kuro will be like, space created.
Not a bad death for him. He was very much in a good position to backstab mid if his team could get there in time, but Monkey Business retreated early and scouted that high ground spot. Just maybe some intuition there, like a spot you want to kind of check, and then they chase him down, so... At the same time, it's your least farmed hero on the 5JuNGz side, so you're not giving any real comeback gold.
Fata enticed, looking to move in for Fly. Crit, pops out now, and commits his combo, but Fata's happy to shrug that one off, and will step back. 4 for Monkey Business, huddled around this mid lane. Miracle has gotten the magic shoes here. Step 1. But that... I mean, does he take these shoes and just start doing the Tinker thing? You go to those side lanes, you get the pressure built off from your base, and you just keep hopping and bopping around as much as possible.
With level 1 March, though, it's really hard to do that. I think it's more likely TPing to a lane where, like, heroes are visible, spamming a couple rockets, then TPing back to base. He's just going to be looked to annoyingly spam heroes down. He has to be very careful about doing so, though, because a Radiance Bear... Well, I guess he's not even close to a blink, but a Radiance Bear can just be used to scout him out and chase him down.
Oh, and of all the people to show up first, it's Mind Control here, who has the blink.
Oh, he waits for the laser to wear off.
Laser waiting to wear off, then he goes in. Yep, there's the duel. A wall comes from Moon, but... Oh, this Grave won't allow him to get the damage. Miracle, still alive. He's running away. He gets mech'd up, and he is good. Looks to retreat here. Moon might not be so lucky. Fata says, screw Moon, I'm going for Miracle. Looks to move in, and... Oh, try to do a little bit of a sidestep and TP away, but they do turn back and get him in Moon. Well, Fata's like, there's an Ion Shell in here. Wait, what? Turns in there, and they'll go ahead and take out the Darkseer. All the meanwhile, bottom lane's also getting pushed, Gods. The other part of the team is doing some work. They're going to get Big Daddy down. Killing spree from Matama Man, and this may be a quick 2-0 series. It looks like they have already ascended into the high ground of this bottom, and this tier 3 is soon to fall.
A huge win for 5JuNGz that gets them into the grand finals of the European qualifier here in Nanyang, and I don't think there's anything left to defend. They kind of, like, if you're chewing through buybacks at this stage, 20 minutes in, you're in trouble, and it's buybacks just to defend. You're not even getting kills out of it. Melee Rack's already down 20 minutes in. Oh boy, I wouldn't be surprised to see an early GG here.
Racks down, and we know that means that everyone on Dire is rich. These racks give away so much gold.
Yeah, especially in early racks at that. Like 1,000 gold to each hero or something at this stage of the game.
I hope Curl gets an Ags now. Like that, I mean, 2,200 gold? Who really knows, right? But all these supports who have been kind of...
I guess you go for a mech, you know, to win the game. But I mean, they're so far ahead, I'd love to see it. I mean, the kill score is 420. You go for an Axe, surely. It's a sign.
We're in Dankville. Everyone, pull out your Dank hats.
So let's say, what's the emoticon for 420 here? What's
like CI grip or something? I don't know. I'm not that good with my Dink emotes, but
we need LD here.
Everyone's coming out to the
streets.
Knows the They're excited. But I have to say, was not suspecting such a one-sided series coming into this so far. Yeah. I know it's not over yet, but as it stands right now,
even game 1 was
JuNGz,
one-sided. It would have been a stomp if not for some really good mid-game, like capitalizing by Monkey Business. But it was like a 10k lead. Similar to this game, 20 minutes in, it looked like the game was over. This game much more so than last, but it was a very dominant early game from 5JuNGz. But Monkey Business, I don't see any way to come back in this game like they did in game 1.
And as they dance around the jungle side of 5JuNGz, they could... Okay, Big Daddy's dead. They caught out lane. Everyone retreated out. Yeah, I was going to say, they're going to sweep in and catch anyone they can. And it looks like they're all going to be TPing away.
So the Shiva's Guard, Fata has more just AoE nuke damage to combo with the Plasma Field. Means the PL is doing next to nothing with right-click damage because he's not really got anything in the way of items, so attack speed is going to be completely negated. And for 5JuNGz, I think they're going to be looking for another lane of racks very, very soon. Matumba Man's already on the way to an Assault Cuirass. They've got the Vlads on Kuro, so it's not going to be a mech, it's going to be a Vlads. More damage, some lifesteal, and a bit of extra armor.
But yeah, essential and needed.
They've even got the Medallion on Ogre, so this Bear is getting beefed up with Vlads, with Medallion, with Bloodlust, with Press the Attack.
Press the Attack, now Bloodlust him. Bloodlust him. Look at that guy go! Yeah, that tower's gone. Ooh, it's a scary bear.
It's kind of reminiscent of what Alliance used to do around the TI3 era. When they picked Lone Druid, they'd almost always pick heroes like Ogre to beef it up.
Look at that thing. It's hungry.
And this early on, you haven't got the damage to take it out.
Nope. 2,700 life and all that assistance.
Maybe misclick.
Yeah.
Not sure what he was trying to do there. Maybe thinking he was going for a blink engagement, but... I'd be surprised if 5JuNGz completely retreat here. I feel like they've got the edge and they want to keep on pressing forward.
For now, they'll step off.
Korea's coming with the AC, so this is a big item that they were waiting on.
Uh-oh.
That explains why they just backed off a little bit.
They had a ward over here, so they scouted Big Daddy going off to farm. And I thought at first they were just going to let him go, but now they're like, Poor Big Daddy's like... I'm just trying to make some farm, guys. I'm 0 and 5. I want my defusal. Uh-oh. Doppelganger to the low ground. They chase, though. They blink in. Big Daddy, looking to hide the pit. Juke him.
He has to guess. He has no witch.
The mind games. What a play. Now, I know Fata's getting kills elsewhere, but Big Daddy is able to barely slip away. Did he duel?
Yeah,
he also dueled the illusion.
Yeah. It was a 1 in 3 at that point.
A small victory for
He should have gone for the 50-50 chance and just dueled one of the two, but he was trying to wait for them to expire, but another doppelganger came up. Nice juke from No-Tail, but it's not really much at this point. One less dual kill going the way of Legion Commander.
He's just like, yeah, I mind gamed him. It's a small victory for me. Yeah. But you go back to your home base afterward, you realize you're still down a set of racks, and your top tier 3 is about to go down, and you realize the whole scope of the game is not going so well. 5JuNGz are now just kind of farming right out your front door, and you're stuck watching from the windows.
That's a bit loath to continue pushing. Not seeing on around half HP. They haven't got... That's where not having a mega... They've got Soul Rip to heal them back up, but not great sustain with the Vlad's pickup, but... he's got an Aegis, so you can go for the push regardless, and they are pinging out this top tower, which is down at 43 HP, so...
Let's get that bear on roids and get him inside. Fata sweeps in, they're going to get the easy finish
with Battle Cry.
Tier 3.
They diffused off the Battle Cry, that's a nice little play.
Something.
It slows down the push, laser as well.
Okay, Fata eating a good chunk of damage for this first life. Will go down. That's an Aegis expended here in what could be the final hurrah. Moon still waiting, back in the wings with a vacuum wall. Ready to go. He's got to find the time. There's the wall. There's the vacuum. It's a nice catch, but there's no follow-up. 5JuNGz see this, and they just sidestep.
And yeah, they can just back off, so.
Big Daddy in pursuit. Using that defusal, trying to muscle through Jerix here.
Yeah. And this may deter 5JuNGz from continuing their push here. They invested a lot and got dealt with pretty well by the high ground defensive Monkey, but you're still in a just impossible situation for Monkey Business. It's not really a hold for them in any definition of the word. They lost the range racks, yes, the less important one, but they didn't really gain ground whatsoever. And for 5JuNGz, they back off, they just farm the whole map. They're the ones out farming their opponents, even when they're pushing. I mean, the net worth tells the entire tale. There is no comeback potential for this Radiant side.
Yeah,
with where things stand for the net worth.
The highest net worth on Monkey Business, being Big Daddy, is still what looks like almost 10K away from the top net worth of 5JuNGz. It's a journey, and I don't know if Monkey Business are uniformed up and ready for that kind of a journey quite yet. Basher now even coming together here from Matamba Man on his lone druid, and you start having to scrap together what potential game plan you got here. Miracle has 1,500 gold after completing his Boots of Travel, but I don't know what the end-all be-all item is for him to try to bring this game back.
He'll buy a Blink, and it's not going to... It does allow him to get in slightly better positions for his march and using his spells, but there's a Radiance on Bear, which he has to worry about.
Get a Yules, and you can keep throwing the Bear up into Yules over and over again.
I mean, very much standard Tinker play. You see 99% of Tinkers go for the Blink. At this stage, I wonder if it's even still worth it against the Plasma-filled Shivers to scatter him out, against the Radiance, against overwhelming odds. I think he still gets it, but it's not going to be that amazing compared to what you normally get out of a Blink Dagger and a Tinker. They may just they can actually damage through the backdoor protection here if they want to, with the Battle Cry, especially on the Spirit Bear.
It's a very long expedition, smoke adventure for Monkey Business.
There's no backdoor
leads
protection
them nowhere,
anyways.
And they go in there, and this bear is just tromping through the tower. Now that's going to be 2 sets of racks down. Almost effortless here.
Zero risk in that play too. It was just the bear on the high ground.
And now they're looking to go for the final blow. Can 5JuNGz put a lid on this game and knock Monkey Business into the lower bracket? It's looking pretty damn promising here. The bear eating a lot of damage. Sure, a resummon is available if necessary. And they will get the pullback.
5JuNGz probably just want to back off, because if they send the bear to the high ground again, Monkey Business can commit to killing it. So they'll just wait for a resummon before they go for another push. Potentially even wait for a Roshan, which is anywhere from 1 to 4 minutes away. And things are looking good. They've got the Solar Crest, which they can put on the Spirit Bear. They've got everything. They're going to have a Mjolnir soon on Mind Control, it looks like. So they can put the Mjolnir on the Bear, which is another thing to... It means when they're focusing them like they just did, those PL illusions and all the heroes are taking huge lightning damage. So Mjolnir is going to be great against the PL on the Spirit Bear.
And 5JuNGz now creeping back over. Monkey Business. We're talking about all the great things that are going for 5JuNGz here, Gods. We gotta think about some praising here for Monkey Business on what they can do, and it's a Blink Dagger.
They can't do a whole lot to code. I'm sorry to cut you, but
this Blink Dagger could be the ticket, though. Blink him closer to Fountain to get to healing quicker.
He can blink away so he doesn't die while his throne goes down. That's the play for Miracle.
He needs to quickly get to these lanes, just get marches down all over the place, and cover the base with marching machines.
Yeah. I mean, in all seriousness, it's an insurmountable deficit. It would take not even miraculous plays from Monkey Business. It would take unheard of throws from 5JuNGz. Like, there's throws, and then there's like, you make a bad call and your opponents punish a mistake. But this wouldn't be punishing mistakes. This would just be unthinkable decisions from 5JuNGz.
Decided they wanted to play with their feet from here on out.
Yes.
And were insistent on doing so. But
they could probably have a few of their players turn their monitors off and still win this game.
Oof. Matamba Man leading out the charge, and their gross bear. Gross in the sense he's just so big and badass. Crow eating a bit of damage from this march. All right, there you go. Step back and away.
They are very much showing a lot of respect to Monkey Business. They're backing off. They're like when they lost the bear once, they wait for the resummon. They're also gonna wait for Roshan. The courier just sitting above. Like that's. You want to know what 5JuNGz are doing? The courier tells it all. They're waiting for Roshan, then they're going for the last lane of racks. All this means for Monkey Business is Glyph has now reset, so they have another Glyph. As far as items go, there's no big items. They're actually, before Roche is even up, they're chipping away at the tier 3. They know they've got 2 bears, so they're just going to throw away this bear's life for as much damage as possible. They lose the bear once, they don't mind.
Well, they got the tier 3 with it, a pullback on the bear. This is all for just the first life.
And now they back off. I assume they're going to back off and retreat now, wait for another bear. They've resummoned it. They don't have the second life on the bear, so sending it to the high ground again means you could risk losing your Radiance AC.
Did you see that he got a Moon Shard with that Hyperstone on Mind Control?
Oh no, I was expecting Mionia.
Moon Shard, never a cheaper price. Don't need the recipe anymore, and just wants to swat at him a bit faster.
And again, they're just slow sieging here. It's really all you can do against a Tinker. A hard commit does risk putting yourself in a position where you're going to be tanking multiple layers of March, and they're already backing off now, farming out the jungle. The bear resummon will come in 80 seconds, so they're not going to go for another high ground play like they just did until they've got the second bear and, more importantly, got Roche.
Look how fast she hits. Plus, obviously, the AC being put together on the bear was probably the reason for her to change over to the Moon Shard. And, well, 5JuNGz looking to move in. They'll take this Roche, and really that should be the ticket for them to put a lid on this game here. Yeah, it is giving Monkey Business more and more time. Look at this. They're going to smoke and go out. This is ballsy.
Yeah, I think they want to try and make a play on Roche, but Mind Control's not finishing it off. They're waiting for, I guess, the fight to happen. They don't want to get jumped while Roche is like.
Maybe they want Fata. They want Fata to take it. Maybe he's TPing. Oh yeah, now.
That's actually a good point. So did give time for Monkey Business to rock up.
Yeah, and now there's going to be a fight before the Roche can even be finished. Big Daddy waltzes in. They actually find the right target to stun up. Jarex gets a good eye, and well, Mind Control quickly annihilates too. Oh boy, crit fly out. Godlike for Fata as he's able to clean up Big Daddy. Miracle. He's got a bear on his ass. He doesn't like that. And then Mind Control is going to jump in and make it a monster kill for him. And that is all she wrote, gods. Monkey Business going to be taken down in dramatic fashion here. In game number 2, it's a 2-0 sweep again. In typical Nanyang fashion. Every single upper bracket, every single game has been 2-0s and 1-0s.
I want a game 3. Hopefully we get some tomorrow. Hopefully, I mean, our grand finals can't be a 2-0. That's good news.
It'll be a 3-0.
Yeah, possibly.
Oh, wow. Okay, so what do we take away from this? Do you think that just 5JuNGz are that much better of a team? Is it that maybe Monkey Business might have underestimated him? They didn't bring a good strategy? Were they outdrafted? How did it end up being pretty much 2 big stomps?
I think 5JuNGz showed a really good ability to adapt to the new patch. We've seen them use some of these buffed heroes, the Ogre Magi, the Legion Commander here, the Lone Druid as well, especially in this game. So showing an ability to adapt, to also not just say, oh, these heroes were buffed, let's put them. They craft a draft that works well together. They had this great pushing power, this team fight that worked well with the Undying as well. So it was largely a drafting thing, but also I think it felt like Monkey Business were always responding to what 5JuNGz were doing, whether it was in the play, the draft. They're like, oh, they've got a pushing lamp, let's now pick a Tinker.